Okay, hi. Welcome to Semi Pros Garage Podcast, I guess. Kind of. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to start this off by saying there may be things in here that I say, and I am not a professional. I just want to get that out there. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. That being said, I'm going to hop right into it. My first topic is going to be the F100. We're going to talk a little bit about the history and, go from there, from where it was to where it's at. So my 1971 F100, formerly known as Uncle Jesse or Jesse, I got that when I was 14 turning 15, if I remember correctly. I went down and bought it in Nato, Texas. Drove it all the way back, which is about 2-3 hours. I remember turning onto our road, and my grandpa at the time was the only one that could drive 3 on the tree, without ruining anything. And he's like, all right, well, it's your turn. I was very nervous getting into the driver's seat for the first time, trying to do 3 on the tree. But you know what? Looking back, it's definitely a core memory. But anyways, from there, I can't really say I did much to it. I mean, just drove it back and forth. I did a little maintenance here and there. During this time, I was working at a speed shop. Well, I say working. I was apprenticing at a speed shop, Green Flags Performance. It's no longer there. I did a lot of cool stuff. I got to drive some cool cars and ride in some cool cars. And that really kind of just put me, I think, where I'm at today, how I look at cars. Because I worked on a lot of old stuff, new stuff, and honestly, I'd rather work on old stuff, but, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, worked on it a little bit there. Then finally I took it home and just drove it throughout high school for, I think, until my second year, I want to say. I believe so. And in between that, I did headlights. My first date with my wife was headlights. Did that at a buddy's house. And then from there it was long tube headers, air cleaner. Nothing crazy. I did the fuel tank. I changed it to an electric fuel pump. And kind of at this time, I was still in the learning process. So, maintenance and taking care of something was like the last thing on my mind. I wanted it to be loud. I wanted it to be fast-ish. Those are the main things, really. And so, it got headers, and that was about it. And I thought, yeah, this thing is awesome. I love it. But anyways, then I took it to a lot of car shows. I went to every car show within 30, 40 miles of me. So that was always fun. And I remember one of the last car shows I went to, we're driving home, and I heard a cuckoo. And I'm like, man, what was that? The truck didn't change or nothing. Continued driving home. I probably got maybe a mile away from my house. And then all of a sudden I know I just lose everything. Truck's running, getting RPM, transmission shifts, and my rear axle, the little snap tabs on the rear on the axles for the Ford 9-inch. I didn't really go into it that much, but I believe it just disconnected or broke. And then my axle shaft on my driver's side ended up eventually exiting the vehicle and rolling past me. So that was fun. So then I bought a parts truck for $200. All I wanted was the axle out of it. Took the axle out, new bearings, seals, etc. Put it in the truck. That truck was a mess. So it's in a junkyard or crushed. I don't know what they did to it, but it was not salvageable. But anyways, and after that, let's see. See, it feels like a lot because I had the car for a long time. I got a lot of memories. But after that, not too long after, I ended up trading it for my first 5-speed car, which is a 87 Suzuki Samurai. Fast forward almost 7 years now. I find the truck back on Marketplace. I own an 88 Suzuki Samurai at the time. Or is it 80? It was probably an 87 too. I don't remember. But anyways, I had another Suzuki Samurai at the time. My buddy sent it to me on Marketplace. He's like, man, this looks like your old truck. And I said, yeah, it is. That is my old truck. I texted the guy, kind of just seeing what he wanted for it and whatnot. And he told me it was wrong. And I was like, okay. I didn't think too much about it. And I was like, man, started itching in the back of my head. It's like, man, you should get that truck back. So I offered to trade him the 87 Samurai I had. But that Samurai was not road legal, didn't have a title. It was just off-road use only. And he's like, man, I don't really have a space for something that I can't drive. And I was like, yeah, I get that. So I put the Suzuki up for sale. Or trade. I got a hit. Old boy down from Poteet, Texas. Had a 71 Volkswagen Type 3 Fastback. I don't know nothing about Volkswagens. Took a picture, had a title, sent it to the guy that owned the truck. He's like, man, I'm a big Volkswagen guy. I'll trade you for that. I said, hell yeah. So I ended up trading my Samurai for this Volkswagen and the Volkswagen for the F100. Fast forward, here we are. I have torn out all the interior. It's got sound deadening in it. What else we got? Obviously, I removed the motor. It's getting a 302 and a 4-speed instead of the 360 and the 3-speed. And then, excuse me, paint here and there. And so I found out, so on the 302, it's definitely been to the machine shop. And I can tell you this because on the block, there are these small plugs that you put in, but they're pretty notorious for getting, for falling out or whatever. So people have the bright idea to thread them and put like pipe plugs in. This one's got it. This one's definitely been to the machine shop. I honestly think it's the guy who had it, went to the machine shop, got it rebuilt or whatever, and then it just sat. It sat, then it locked up from moisture and rust in 2 cylinders because it was open. It didn't have nothing covering it or nothing. And so when I got it, obviously I had to get the motor to turn over, which required Marvel's Mystery Oil, PB Blaster, brake fluid, all together and let it just sit for, it felt like forever, but it was like probably 5 days total. And then just work at it back and forth. Eventually I got that first seal to break. And after that, it was just work. And finally I got a full rotation out of it. So I sat there and I rotated a couple times, forward, backwards, etc. And it's freed. This is the first time I've successfully freed a motor. And it's not the first motor I've bought that was locked up. So you live, you learn. But anyways, and now here we are. We're just selling the 7.3. So 7.3 is up for sale. I got a guy coming 21st of December to buy it. That's a dead deal. That's done. All I got to do is I told him I'd do some maintenance on it because he's driving a really long way. He's driving this thing to Alaska. He's coming from Alaska to Texas, Texas to Arizona, Arizona to Alaska. Now, I told him he's crazy, but honestly, it sounds like something I'd do. So I can't really say much. So anyways, we got to do rear brakes, front U-joint on the drive shaft, and the rear main. Now, I know my last video, or my last mechanical video was doing the rear main. How far did I get? Well, I got to the downpipe. And those downpipes are pressed into a cast iron housing. I'm going on a tangent now. But anyways, I'm giving you an update. That downpipe is pressed into a cast iron housing. And basically you have to break that seal and then get it to come out. And it's not always easy to do. Cast iron is very brittle. It's hard to work with. And it being so and so years old, it could have broke at any time. Anyways, I got it out. It's out of the truck. I still have not pulled the transmission. I got the U-joint out. At this point, I'm about to just do the rear main and the brakes. Man, I was working on them drums yesterday, trying to get the dang drum part to come off. Eased on there. I'm saying like somebody super glued and then welded them things on. PB blaster, heat, hammer, etc., just keep going over and over again. I cannot get them things to come off. Anyways, that's the plan. Fix those, drive it down to Houston before I go back out to work and hopefully get it sold. And then that money from that truck will go into the 71. We'll get the 71 back. If I had to guess, it just really depends on parts delivery, 1, and 2, if I have any other plans that don't involve me being home. I'm going to say February. Maybe February. I'm hoping for February. I at least need the truck done. I want the truck done before May. So that should give me plenty of time. I got parts coming for the truck already. I kind of jumped the gun. But I purchased EFI. That's going to be new for me. Never messed with any of the throttle body EFIs that anybody's put out. I ended up getting the Aces Killshot 2 and their throttle body EFI kit. It's ECU, a whole bunch of stuff, and then that's the distributor as well, tablet, etc. I'll do an unboxing vid when it gets here, and we'll go through it and I'll explain everything. But that's I chose to go that route. I have a Holley for the truck, but I chose to go that route because ease of use. If I do end up driving the truck, more than every other weekend or whatever, I'd like it to be reliable, you know, and what it does. So, anyways, after that, that's it. You're pretty much caught up. I just got to get a lot of parts together, and then go from there. But that's enough for the F100. We're gonna talk about my top 10 dream cars. Now this is unobtainium for me. I don't plan on becoming a millionaire anytime soon or whatever, but these are unobtainium cars. I say unobtainium. I don't think I would be able to obtain them in my lifetime. So that being said, number one on the list is the 66 GT40 Mark 1. The one they raced in the mall. That car, I don't know. It's just something. That thing is crazy. I love that car. Obviously, unless I end up buying a kit car, there's no way I'm going to own one of those. But man, I couldn't imagine just driving one. That'd be so fun. And anyway, I think my second one on the list is going to be a Saleen S7 TT. I'm going to try and put pictures up. Hopefully I can do that. But anyways, a Saleen S7 twin turbo. That's a cool car. I first saw this car when I worked for Toyota at the time at Golo. And I was going through the museum he's got there. I think I've seen a Saleen once before, but it's like a Ferrari F1 or Ferrari F1, McLaren F1. Told you. Anyways, it's like a McLaren F1. It almost looks like a McLaren F1 long tail, if I was to compare it to anything. But, I mean, big old V8, twin turbo, manual. It was one of the first supercars to come out of America. I mean, that says enough right there. Now, this list isn't all unobtainium. It's just kind of mix. So I think my next one would probably end up being my next one, I know this is going to surprise some people. Probably a Chevy ZR1 Corvette. The Blue Devil, as they call it. That's a cool car. That's a hell of a car. I'm a Ford guy, but I cannot deny that's a hell of a car. And then a CTS V-Wagon. Oh yeah. Supercharged, 6-speed wagon. Those are the words right there. Let's see, was that 4? Yeah. And then I'd probably say a 2020 Shelby GT350R with the 5.2 Voodoo in it. Those only came manual. I like those too. You'll notice everything on this list is going to be manual. Well, I take that back, except for one. And I'll say that one right now is a Lexus LFA. The V10. Is it V10 or V12? I don't remember. Anyways, I saw that at Golo too. He owned one. That car sounds wild. That is such a cool car. It's too bad when they were producing it that the economy was so it didn't do too good. But oh man, that is a cool car. Let's see, that's 5. It's a lot harder than I thought. You know, I know a lot of cars and man, when I think about it. I'd say Eleanor would be a good one. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about there. Eleanor would be a good one. Obviously, no list is complete without a 1969 or 1970s Dodge Charger. However, which way you want it. And then I might oddball it here. We'll see. Aston Martin Vantage V8. I don't remember the year. Hang on. I'll tell you in just a second. I think it's a Vantage. Yep, that's it. What year is that? '81. Yep, the '81 almost looks like a Mustang, like a '70s, '60s Mustang. Maybe that's why I like it so much. But those are pretty cool. And then, what is that? 8 or 2. I got 2 more. Man, that's a lot more hard. That's a lot difficult than I thought. Oh, Ford Mustang GTD. That thing's wicked. That's pretty cool. And then I would have probably a Lotus Esprit. Like a 2001, I believe. See if I remember that correct. Yep. 2001 Lotus Esprit. V8. Now you notice a lot of those cars are all V8s. All of them have manuals except for the LFA. That's just my taste. I love that stuff. Anyways, those are my top 10. I believe that's 10. And now we're going to close this out. Man, we're already at 23 minutes. We're going to close this out at the future. What are the plans? Well, honestly, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't foresee this this channel taking off, really. Honestly, I'm just doing this for the fun of it. I like doing this stuff. I like talking about this stuff. And I got some people that ask me about cars. I got people that want me to work on their stuff. And honestly, this is just another way to help me get my vision, I guess, out there for my part of the hobby that I like so much. And maybe, other people would be interested in too. And really, if you're trying to get into cars and you don't know where to start, the best thing I can tell you is find something cheap and just learn. And honestly, if you really want to do it, if you really want to do it without having to buy an actual car, there's easier ways. A good place. It's going to kind of sound weird because I know it's not totally accurate, but Car Mechanic Simulator, it's pretty dang close. I'm not going to lie. Or if you can, get your hands on a a nitro RC car. That'd be a good way to learn taking apart a small motor. I'm gonna tell you something that nobody else is really gonna tell you. All motors are the same. They all function the same. They all need the same thing. I'm just saying. They do. Now, are they going to be different in their design? Absolutely. But all of them have the same principle underneath. You know? And once you learn to take apart one, you can probably take apart the others. And honestly, I find that's the easiest way of learning is just digging in. Because one, you're going to mess up. It's inevitable. You're going to mess up. You're going to make a mistake. But you're going to learn. And from there, you know, there's not much else you can't do. Another good place to start would be a motorcycle. But I don't want to ride a motorcycle. Well, then get a four-wheeler. I'm telling you, if you get something small and work your way up, everything's going to seem seamless. And then, you know, you go from there. But anyways, I'm really passionate about cars. I don't really like it when, you know, people talk bad about stuff you put work into, you know. And honestly, when you get into cars, you're going to find there's a lot of people that don't like a lot of things. And you might like the opposite of whatever they like. They're going to judge you. Just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah. This channel, I mean, it's like I said, it's more of a outreach for me to be able to, you know, talk to some of the people that want to get into stuff or are into stuff but want to learn a little more. I don't know everything. I know I act like I do sometimes, but I don't know everything. Most of this stuff I'm doing, I'm learning with you. I just get out there and do it. That's all I got to say about that. But anyways, so F100 is definitely sticking around. Not going nowhere. I ain't letting it go again. So while we have that guy sticking around, obviously the 7.3 is going to go away. So normally in that situation when I get rid of a project car, I just end up getting another one, but that's not going to be the case this time. So we're going to be focusing on the F100. I might try and squeeze some other stuff in there if I can, like we'll do some more like driving vlogs or something like that. But might work some stuff on the Mustang. It doesn't really need a whole bunch. And probably next year sometime will be some motorcycle content. So I'll cover 3 bases there. F100, you know, Mustang, and the motorcycle. Now the F100, as soon as the motor's in, this truck's not going to be done. I still got interior to do. I got a whole list of stuff I still want to do. I'm just getting it running and driving. That's it. And everything else we're going to do while it still runs and drives. And then eventually we'll finally get into the part that I like, where we're going to start making some power. But anyways, I'd like to say thank y'all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And I'll try and get some more videos out. I'm probably going to end up recording a lot and then doing a lot of editing and then just dropping them. Hopefully. That's the plan. I'm not going to say that that's going to work, but that is the plan. I'm still learning to edit. I'm still learning to try and do all that stuff. So it'll probably take me a little while to actually get into a groove where I can make content steadily. Because like I said, this is a hobby. I'm not doing this to get money. I'm not doing this to do anything. This is just out of my time. Hey, let's do it. And so I'll probably do some stuff working on the 7.3 before I get rid of it. And then after that, I mean, it's going to be pretty cut and dry until we get some parts coming in for the F100. But I mean, I'm going to be working Christmas all the way through New Year's. So I'll be gone for a while. But after that, we'll start rolling in while all the parts are coming in while I'm gone. So anyways, like I said, thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed.